Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. Welcome to another interesting chess video. Today we are going to look at an interesting game that I played against a certain guy who was suspected to be a cheater by chess.com. So I was going through my normal browsing and I came across this particular message from chess.com which said that we have detected that one of your recent opponents has violated our fair play policy. As compensation for your potentially unfair rating losses, we have adjusted your following ratings from 1866 plus 7 points to 1873. Now, this particular game, it came to my game that I played recently, and it was this particular game with this guy called Log 130. So I was curious. In fact, in this particular game, this guy totally outplayed me, and I became quite sad because of the game, and I wasn't happy, and I was surprised when I saw the message that the guy was cheating. So for me, it was very discouraging. So I went and checked out this guy on his page, and I found that his account was suspended. I can see from his previous games with other opponents, the guy has been having a very good score, and actually he only seemed to have lost 2 games, 3 I think, and the guy, actually my game with him was the last game that he played. He had an accuracy score of 92.9 and I had an accuracy score of 78.5. So so I was curious about this fair play by chess.com, and I went out to search for it, and I found out this article that says that chess.com is committed to growing chess and protecting the integrity of the game. On this page, you'll find information and resources that our fair play has created for you to remain up to date about the work that we do. The fair play policy supports our mission to maintain a clean and fair platform for chess players around the world. In light of this mission, we reserve the right and discretion to monitor all chess games played on our platform. To play on our website, all players must agree to play only their own moves, do not cheat in any way, do not get help from any other person, including parents, friends, coaches, or any other player. And the policy goes on being explained down there. So I can say the game was quite intense, but we are going to check it out and see how the game went and how the guy came to be banned. I don't know what the chess.com stuff saw that made the guy to be banned, but I think they had a good reason for doing the same. This is, I think, the second time or the third time. I think I've encountered such cheaters before. You can see from these messages, there's a time also my ratings were adjusted, but I think this particular game is the latest one. And since I was playing my game of playing the road to 2K, to 2000 Elos, it was quite interesting that I came across a cheater. So let us go through the game and see how the game was. So we are going to first watch the game, and then from there we are going to analyze it slowly to see how the game went. Without much further ado, let's dive into the game. Very nice. Let's now analyze the game to see how the game went. So I was playing with white. The game starts with d4, d5. I'm usually a d4 player. I like playing d4, though I'm thinking of starting to play e4, but I usually like to start my games with d4. So my opponent replayed with e5. I made the exchange d takes e. Then he developed his bishop to c5. I brought my pawn to e3. So here normal development, knight moves, protecting the pawn, and then queen to e7, adding more pressure to the pawn. And here in this place the pawn cannot defend it. And once the pawn fell, knight to f3, attacking the queen had to move away. So in this position I'm actually, I think, a little bit better. My pieces are not so badly off. So the game continued. I played bishop to d3, preparing to castle, and he played d5, rook to b1, preparing to fianchetto my bishop on c1, and my opponent played knight to e7. b3, continuing with my plans. He shot castles. I attacked the queen and also fianchettoing my bishop. Then here he gives me a check. There was two ways in which I could defend it. I think not. Yeah, two ways. Maybe bring my king to e2 or defending with the knight. I thought defending with the knight was better because I wanted to castle in the next move. That's what I exactly did. Because in this position, pushing the pawn to c3, you lose the pawn immediately to a check. With a check, because if bishop takes, then queen takes with a check, then you'll have to move your king to a safer place and you'll have lost a pawn. So defending with the knight was better. Then he continued attacking my bishop. I brought the bishop to a3. He protected the knight, and then here at least I got a chance to castle, getting away from the pin. He played knight to f5, played knight to f3, and then he made this particular pawn push. It's like opening up the center and also creating room for his rook. So here I had to take, since it was kind of forced, and here we exchanged our knights, and he brought his bishop to d4 after the exchange. With this bishop was quite a troublesome bishop, I must say. So I played queen to h5, threatening a mate in one. He defended by attacking the queen to g6 with the pawn to g6. I played queen to h6, but in this position, this was actually not a good move because I didn't have enough attacking materials to threaten a mate. But during the game, the reason why I played this particular move, I thought if maybe I could find a way to connect my rooks and then maybe force a trade, I'll be able to checkmate my opponent. But that was a far-fetched goal because as you can see, these two pieces, the queen can easily fall back, forcing the exchange. So that wasn't much a good idea. In this position, the best move was actually to bring the queen back to d1. So the game continued. Here he's threatening to win my queen, by trying to suffocate it in some way. So immediately started trying to create some breathing space for my queen so that I won't lose my queen. He replied by bringing his bishop to e2, which was actually the best move in this position. And this exchange was actually so bad for me that as you can see, this particular pawn on f2 is attacked 3 times, and I have only 2 defenders, the rook and the queen. And the sad thing is this my particular queen, there's no way I can add to defense of it, the queen and the bishop, because I can't bring it to h4 because it will just be captured using the queen. I can, there's no other better square for these 2 pieces. So immediately from this position I knew the game was lost. And then also knowing that having these 2 powerhouses in this particular rank, on the second rank, it will be devastating for my king, since checkmate threats were on their way. So I slid the king to h1. My opponent took. Then after the exchange, things just started falling apart for me. I tried to protect the pawn on c2, but this killer move, rook to e8, and from here all roads were leading to Rome, and there's no way that I could defend, because once this rook falls to e2, and then there was also this fork bishop to e3, forking my queen and my rook, and with this bishop on e3, this queen will have easily fallen because it will be out of safe squares, because it can't go to any of the diagonal squares, neither can it go to h5 or h4. And from here I just resigned. That's how the game went. Actually this game was quite an intense one, and it really got me mad. I wasn't happy about my play, and I also surprised that my opponent cheated in this game. I don't know from which particular move he cheated, or he cheated the whole game, but nevertheless it was a good game. I think on my side I didn't have clear plans during the game. As you can see, this particular one move threat, queen to h5, didn't yield much in this particular position. I think I could have looked for a better move, maybe trying to connect the rooks so that I could occupy this, the e file. But I didn't see much clear play during the game, and I hope in my next game I'll have to look for clear plans, especially in this kind of positions. I will have also maybe gone for this particular pawn on c7 because it's undefended, and also this particular rook also, it didn't have a defender since the bishop was still inactive. It didn't move from its original square. Maybe a move like bishop to b5 would have been better. Maybe just putting more pressure and attacking these particular pawns. So guys, that was how the game went. We are still soldiering on my road to 2k. So far so good. I think I've played some 2 games which I won. These 2 games I played during some time back. I'm hoping to reach 2K soon, and then we can proceed to 2200 Elos. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Tell me experience, if you have ever experienced a cheater in your games, and let me know how the game went. Stay tuned to more interesting chess videos, and bye bye.